What is up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name's Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. Today I have a post review for you. This is the beautiful Morrigan by Chrissabug. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me start off while I'm talking with giving you, first, let's do an overhead full picture so you can see the whole finished piece right there in the middle. And then as I'm speaking, I'm going to give you a really quick pan up of the whole thing, a scrolling of the whole piece so that you can see top to bottom, close up what she looks like. Now, as that's going on, this is the Morrigan by Chrissabug from Diamond Art Club. Now, the finer points, I mean, honestly, I could go on and on about the kit and what I liked. There were a few things I thought were maybe some strange decisions or things that looked strange to start with, but then after looking at them closer, I was like, meh, yeah, it's all right. First and foremost, I started this on the 13th of August, and I completed it on the 27th of August. So a 14-day finish. I completed her on my kitten chat, or my whipping chat, this last Tuesday, but I film it Tuesday night. I put it out Wednesday. So you saw the finish on Wednesday. Well, you saw like the top right corner on Wednesday. Let me show you a little bit about what I had going on. This was my trash that I had for the kit. Mostly it was severely cupped drills, a few with pinholes in it, you know, the air bubbles that you run into. But mostly it was cupped drills was the biggest issue. You can see they're so severely cupped I couldn't do much with them. Or if they don't have cups in them, then they may have been connected to another, or there's a dog hair in there. I see you, dog hair. It's still in there. Try that again. Maybe it's a couple of dog hairs. That's just my life. So it was either stuck together or they had little bubbles or, like those weird bars of, the resin that you get in there. But yeah, for the most part, anything that's in this tray was not usable for one reason or another. But I mean, all in all, for a kit as large as this one, which it is a... Give me a moment here. I believe it's a 68 by 100. It was a 65 by 100.8 centimeters kit. Really, really huge, right? Just very large. So she's big, right? Let me show you some of the diamonds that I had left over for this kit. So these were the specials. Now, this is what I had left over for the iridescent L726. But as you can see, you're like, oh, that's not a lot. Well, those are the only two that you use, are right up on that ear. She's got a couple of little gold earrings in her ear right there. Right there. So, I mean, honestly, lots and lots of leftover for needing 2 hole drills, right? But always with Diamond Art Club, there is always plenty of extra for everything. Wish I would have had more of the fairy dust, but that's just because I love the fairy dust. Didn't have a whole lot of white left, just a little bit, and just a little bit of this orange, but I had plenty to go off of. That was for some of the drills, and then this was the rest here. So plenty of leftover drills as always. I I mean, I wouldn't say I'd be able to do the kit again, but I mean, definitely I had enough to go on. I did do a little bit of zhuzhing up of this kit, and I do want to talk a little bit about the specials, things like that. So there were, how many? There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 specials in this kit, but really where they put them was pretty affecting. Okay. Like there's like a sprinkling of yellow ABs, which was the only AB in here. Just up here in the top, there's a few, not much. There was a pale peachy colored fairy dust, which is like up along the top of this bird here. You can see it's a very subtle fairy dust, this one here. And then there was an orange fairy dust, mostly used in like the raven's eyes and in her eyes just here and there's a little dot. And then there were, like I said, the iridescents. Those were in her earrings. The darker orange was down in her like wrap that's around her legs. Like there's some fairy dust, an orange fairy dust here and here and here. There's a peachy fairy dust here. All of these orange dots that you see, those are all fairy dusts. And then the white fairy dust is anywhere you see white, like actual white. So up here on her chest, not in her eyes, no. A little bit on top of her hair there. But really, I didn't need a lot of the white fairy dust because there wasn't a lot of white in the piece at all. There were a couple of things that I added because I felt like it was needed. In the parts of the feathers, like the accent of the feathers, I did, and just the feathers, not on the ravens, but in the feathers, you can see I added an AB along the edges of the feather there and there. And then along the edge of this feather right here, I added a black AB, and then this feather right there, you know, nothing too major. I didn't want to go overboard. And then in the top of her feathers on her like dress, I actually replaced, where is it? So these are the black ABs that I used for the wing, like the feathers out there. And then I did use, oh, I ran out. That's why. I literally used all that I had. It was a 336. It was a 336 fairy dust that I put in the top of her feathers on her dress here. I just thought it needed something. And I almost put in the actual like AB in there as well. And I might still do that. I might decide to go in and just take a little bit of this out and add it in. But I thought for now that was a good start. I, in fact, didn't do all of the 336 that was up here with it. One, because I didn't have a lot. And I was just leftovers. And two, I thought it was too blocky. When I like really filled it all the way in, it was too blocky. So I did replace that. And then the other thing that I did was I used, where did it go? I replaced some of the 779 regular drill in a 779 fairy dust. It's a brown, but it almost has like reads a coppery color. It's kind of hard to see. It reads a kind of coppery color. And I put that into her hair right here. Let's see if I can get you closer there. I put that up into her hair. There's a fairy dust there in the bottom of her hair, and then I put some up here into the accents in her hair up here where it called for it. I also used it just here on this raven because it called for it there, and like some out on the tips of the tail, out here on the tips of the tail, just because, and maybe a little, no, I didn't do it on the bird over here, did I? I did, actually, just kidding. I put it up here along the wings too with that peachy colored one. I just thought it needed just a little something more. So I did add some to the kit. Let's talk about the positives with this kit, right? So I absolutely adore what they were able to do with this ring using the colors that they used. It really reads with dimension. You can see how like bright the middle is and how, you know, it changes in color around her. I loved that. I love, and it's just literally a touch. There is a splash of purple under her eye. I think it is so special, that just little tiny bit of purple right there under her eye. Beautiful touch. I was not sure how the paint, tattooing, whatever you want to call it, on her arms was going to turn out. I just wasn't sure. I'm like, how's it not going to look like a blotch of something? And really, it looks phenomenal. The other thing that I am drawn to again and again and again, one, the fact that blue and orange are contrasting colors, and there is a lot of blue and orange used in this piece. The contrasts with the two of them are absolutely beautiful. I cannot get over how gorgeous all of those contrasts are. There's blue in her hair and headpiece with the orange up here and the bright light. All of the bright light that's on her head has this sort of orange read to it. You get into this dress that she's wearing and the sheer, the way that you can see her skin beneath it, just absolutely gorgeous. I cannot stop staring at this right here. The effect that they've achieved with it looking sheer against her leg. Now, those are the things that I loved, and I will circle back to things that I loved, but I do want to talk about some of the things that I didn't really care for when you compare it against the original. Now, I didn't write in any of excuse me, my notes yet, but I wanted to bring attention. Okay, so in the original image down here, you can see how dark things are at the bottom, right? And this foot gets kind of lost. You can see that there's a mist kind of over here in this side. You know, her hair is like blue grayish color, but a lot of the coloring is lost down here, and it could have been achieved in whatever way. I wish they used to have bigger stickers, right? Like the stickers we used to get were like this size. You could see the artwork a little better. But that said, okay, I did not love what they did with regard to the render on the bottom. They did brighten it up so that you could see the foot, and the camera reads differently, obviously, in colors, but the stark brightness of this foot, and then this foot here, which is a little in, I mean, that I, like, as I was working, because I work from bottom to top, and left to right. When this came up and I just got to this foot, it was all I could look at. And I got so distracted by it. I was like, I hate this foot so much. Now, once I got worked up into other parts, it was just some of these colors down here. Just the colors next to each other look, if I'm honest, kind of ugly. These colors here, you know what I mean? Like, they just, meh, it wasn't my favorite. And then the other thing is, instead of having a mist, they did this like blue, black, brown oil slick thing down here. I didn't love that. And it is, like, when you're looking at the piece, it is a bit distracting, but there's so much interest happening in the middle that you're not really drawn to this bottom part too much. But if you focus on it too long, it really gets to be a lot. Same with over on this side. It was just this blue, brown, black streak that they did, and I didn't love that. It is what it is. The other thing, what was the other thing? Some of the color choices that they made in the body, okay? There's almost like this, like a dark mauve color happening here. It's like there's just it doesn't look like real skin. Like, even her face has this, when you're looking at it up close, you're like, what in the actual heck are those colors? And, you know, in the up close, it doesn't necessarily read as very pretty. But when you're looking at it from viewing distance, which is the way you're supposed to look at it, it looks beautiful. I mean, but when you're on top of it and you're working on the piece, you're like, what is happening? It's all a trust the process thing, and I'm learning that as I go. I'm telling you. The other thing, there's these stains on her hands, right? Here and here and here. There are these stains. That was supposed to be blood. In the picture, I believe it's blood. If it's not blood, it really looks like blood. Again, this picture is so tiny, so it's hard to see, but you can see she has these marks on her hands, and I don't think it's supposed to be a shading. I think that's supposed to be blood. She is the Morrigan. It would make sense for that to be blood. And so I almost wish, I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't read as blood on this, but, you know, what are you going to do? They do with it what they can. The last things that I was like, about, I got a little distracted by these fingers right here on this hand. It just looks a little strange. Like, don't know what's going on with her fingies. I didn't love that, but again, nitpicking. It is. It's nitpicking. And then the last thing, this is her hair, right? This is supposed to still be her hair. I don't know why they put streaks of blue and black and orange through her hair like that. Maybe to cut down on how many colors they were using. I don't know. But that's supposed to be the back of her hair against her dress, and I wasn't sure about that. Sorry about the jingles, guys. Bowie just decided to lay down and itch herself for a while. So yeah, these are honestly nitpicky things. I can completely get over them once the piece is done and you're looking at it. You don't see them anymore. I mean, honestly, this is one of my favorite finishes of the year. I eventually got over that foot. I eventually got over this foot and the swirly things happening over here. I really feel like they did a good thing. Most of my issues with this kit in particular were all nitpicks. They really were. Nothing that was earth-shattering or things that I would tell somebody not to pick this up. Obviously, it is not in stock currently, but you definitely should put this on your list to pick up when it returns to being in stock, because Dustin, my husband, said she looks like she belongs on a Magic card from Magic the Gathering, and I have to say, I 100% agree with him. Could not agree more. This was the Morrigan from Chrissabug. I am absolutely in love with her. It was a wonderful finish, and I can't wait to work on my next Chrissabug, you guys. Thank you for joining me for this post review. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you enjoyed this video, you should share it with your friends or other people that you think might enjoy diamond painting content. And as ever, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world, that you are having a phenomenal morning, evening, or afternoon. Whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.